I have an interesting scenario to present to you guys today, and I absolutely cannot wait to see the comments after this video drops. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sobriety and Silver. Sobriety comes before everything. I woke up sober this morning because I went to bed sober last night, guys, and that is another win, another day of sobriety, living and loving life. All right, let's get into this scenario. Let's say you're walking down the street. Somebody walks up to you and they give you $1,000 cash, $1,000 in fiat money. But the catch is, you can't spend it on groceries. You can't use it to pay bills. You can't go out and have a good time with it. You have to invest it. And you get three choices: gold, silver, or Bitcoin. You don't have to choose just one. You can do one, you can do gold and silver, or you can do all three. You can split it up however you want, but it has to be those three choices. What would you choose? How would you do it? Now, I know what I do, and I'll tell you at the end what I would do. So let's go over gold first. And before I get into the gold, this is kind of a perfect opportunity to show you the fractional gold that I received today. And this is the first one I have. It is a Mexican 2.5 peso. It is 0.0603 troy ounces of 90% gold, 10% copper. And again, this is the biggest gold purchase I've ever done. I have two 1 grams of gold, two gold maple leafs, 1 gram. I have one 100th ounce bar, Scottsdale Mint, and then I have the 1/100th ounce gold coin. Now, all of those are pure gold. This one is 90%. And I also have my gold backs, which I absolutely love these things. And if you didn't watch my last video about the power of the gold back and what has gone on with them since 2019, I'll put the link below. You can go check that out. So yeah, let's talk about gold. Now, gold is, it's about the most stable way you could invest your money. But the problem is with that $1,000 is you're not going to get a full ounce of gold. You're going to have to get fractional gold, which means you're going to pay higher premiums. I don't mind paying higher premiums as long as they're not ridiculous. Now, I picked this peso, 2.5 pesos. I picked that up for $229. The melt value of gold at the time I bought it, which was about 4 days ago, was $214. Now, that's gone up since, I purchased it. I don't know exactly what the melt value of it is, but it's higher than $214, but I'm still behind because it hasn't caught up to the premium yet. But I have every confidence that gold will erase the premium, and that 2.5 peso will be worth every bit what I paid for it. So you got to do the fractional gold thing, which means you're going to start behind. But honestly, how can you really go wrong with that? Because gold has been around for thousands of years. It is probably the best hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against wars. And definitely financial crisis. When those things happen, gold goes up. And if it doesn't go up a lot, it usually stays pretty close to where it is. So it's almost just like the safest bet. But like I said, you got to deal with the premiums. So there's that. Well, then silver, you have the silver stackers like me who swear by silver. I love silver. That's mostly what I stack. Probably 80 to 90% of my income that I use for investing goes into silver. Um, but with $1,000, you'll get quite a bit of silver. That's a pro. You'll get a lot of silver for that $1,000. So when you spend that $1,000 or convert that $1,000 into silver, you're going to walk out of that coin shop with some weight. You're going to have weight in your hands or your pocket or however you're carrying it. And when you get home, you're going to put it out on the table and you're going to look at it and say, that is what $1,000 bought me. This is what I'm invested in. It's going to be bulky and just feel good. You know what I mean? You can play with it and mess with it and whatever you want to do. It's a physical representation of what that $1,000 looks like in silver, as opposed to just a couple of gold coins. Even if it's a 1/10 or however you do it, however you break that down. But there's pros to each one. Now the cons to the silver is volatile. If gold sneezes, basically silver gets sick. It catches a cold. So you're looking at maybe a quick drop in silver. You may buy in or convert that $1,000 into however many ounces of silver, and then the very next day silver drop $2-3, which would put a little dent in the old psyche there. But again, I have every confidence that silver is going to continue to grow, continue to rise, because the industrial demand for silver right now is just too high. Each year, we're mining about now the same amount of silver, but the industrial demand is going up and up and up, and it's catching our mining supply. With silver being put on the critical mineral list, that's even going to cause it to go up more, I believe. Now, just look at it. Friday, the market's closed. According to Kitco, silver held at $41.05 an ounce. I'm not an expert at this. I'm going by what I've heard other creators say, content creators say, is if you can get through a Friday without silver dropping, that is a very, very good sign, because Fridays, for some reason, put in the comments on why, because I did not know this until I actually saw it on a video, another content creator. Fridays seem like the sell-off day, I guess, is what it comes to. But it held. It didn't drop below $40. It actually closed at $41.05 per ounce. That is a massively huge positive for silver. Well, then you have Bitcoin. A lot of people hate Bitcoin. I understand why. And then you also have the people that absolutely love Bitcoin. You have channels out there that are dedicated to just Bitcoin. I don't know a whole lot of technical jargon about Bitcoin. All I know is there are only 21 million. It is still a hedge against inflation. It is considered digital gold. And if you talk to somebody that actually knows about Bitcoin, more than 90% of the people know, it's called digital gold. It is the future of money. Some countries have actually banned Bitcoin, but you have governments buying it up. You have some countries buying it up, and even our own government put, I don't remember the exact amount, but they put a lot of Bitcoin in strategic reserve. So that tells you something right there. And Bitcoin is hovering right around $110,000, $112,000 per Bitcoin. And if you look at the history of Bitcoin, look how fast it's shot up. So the pros is you just don't know how high Bitcoin is going to go. But the cons, again, it's like silver, it's volatile. It wasn't long ago. Bitcoin, a couple weeks, I think, if that, Bitcoin was $124,000. It dropped pretty significant. It's down to 110, 112, somewhere around there. Now, I do invest in Bitcoin. I just don't put a lot into it. There was at one point in my stacking journey last year that I said I was going to try to get 0.10 Bitcoin. I've thrown that out the window now. I am not going to put that much money into Bitcoin when I can put it into gold and silver. I would much rather pay the extra premium and get silver in my hand, or gold in my hand, and then silver in my hand. But I do believe Bitcoin is a good way to make some money, and it's a good way to save some money. Just like I said, the problem is it is super volatile. So what would you do? Would you just pick one? Would you put that whole $1,000 into gold? Would you pick silver? Would you put the whole thing in silver? Or would you put it all in Bitcoin? Or would you split it up? I know for a fact that I'm going to get some comments saying gold and silver only. I will be very surprised if I see anybody say they would put the entire $1,000 into Bitcoin. You are a super believer in Bitcoin if you were to do that. But, that's taking a risk that has a chance of really paying off big. The way I would do it, I would probably put half, $500, into silver. And of that $500 of silver, I would split it up. I'd get generic silver rounds, I'd get Morgans and Peace dollars, and junk silver. I personally would not go nuts getting high premium gold bars. I may, now I may get some 5 and 10 ounce bars. That would be a good way to reduce the premium and get some weight without having silver everywhere, if you know what I mean. You just have one nice 5 ounce chunk of silver, but then I would split it up even more. And then I would probably get another one of these, because for some reason I really like these. I don't know what it is. I just like these. I love the idea of 90% gold, but I would also probably get another gram to go on top of it. And then the rest I would put into Bitcoin. So that's how I would do it. I'm very interested to see how you guys would do it. So please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Pardon me. And also check out K2 Bullion Exchange. He's got some new t-shirts on there. He's working getting some new silver in. This is where I got this from. That's where I got my gold backs. Now, another thing about K2 Bullion Exchange is they never have any credit card fees. And I mentioned this in my last video too. That is where I got my 14 gold backs from. So yeah, K2BullionExchange.com. Kenneth is a great guy, really good dude. With that being said, you guys have a beautiful, wonderful, blessed Saturday. It's the weekend. Don't forget, we got Sunday Gratitude coming up. And I'll see you in the next video.